We had a new biome show up, bluegrass savanna, which displaced that water. Now that's really bad news for the squizzards, but gave everybody a gene or two in the case of a number of people, 6 or 6 or more things. I'm going to see how everybody reacts to that. That's going to cause some massive changes because the water biome had nowhere to go, so it was just discarded. Opening up that land did some interesting things. For one thing, turtles were able to make it down and into here where they can find all kinds of things to eat, and that makes them very, very happy. But for another, it also allowed Dogface into the water. I remember seeing it. It didn't allow that. Dogface went into the water. The squizzards, the carnivorous version, eats dog faces. They also, everything can eat this thing, the crocodile, but the turtle's got less teeth, so it wins. So we've got kind of this mixed habitat here. I like that aspect of this game. In what I played without the biome levels, which may be the new version, yeah, it's a lot simpler to play without them, but you lose this ability to slide through in this way. This means that both of these are here. Now eventually one's going to take dominance, but right now there's an ability to permeate, which is really, really valuable in this game, because otherwise these walls appear where you can't get through. Okay, let's look at the next card. Uh-oh, it's a catastrophe, and we are still in the Mesozoic, so it's going to be Siberian traps. Greenhouse up, then Cantabria Bridge floods, global volcanic gases. This is going to be complicated. Everybody's going to get a ton of genes, 5 genes each, 10 for the guy with sacks. Wow. That immediately becomes a worthwhile purchase because of that. But let's see what happens, because greenhouse, before the flooding happens, this happens. And that means if greenhouse rises, biomes displace north, everything's going to slide up. I'm going to take care of that. This is really an unpleasant thing that I saw way too often in the other version, which probably was a matter of the deck not being shuffled well in one or both cases. Why it's such a difference. But we'll see what happens once that occurs. So this is going to be a painful turn compared to most. Most are pretty light. One little thing changes, a lot of things move. Here, a lot of things moved, and I think I cheated. I think, no big surprise there. I think whatever was here should have stayed. I noticed something, which is that things that move under an ice cap or onto an ice cap, well, this should have never been habitable while the ice cap was there. Strangely enough, there are lots and lots of rules which are only covered over here in the glossary. And in this case, it was. Much of the glossary, for example, dinosaurs, is just has nothing to do with the game. It's just part of, you know, the historical lesson or whatever. But then things like displacement arrow requires lots of information here. There's another one, displacement restrictions, I think. No, that's displacement limitations, yeah. So there's slightly a difference here. Displacement arrow doesn't really give any rules, whereas displacement limitation gives all the rules by which a displacement is handled under. And that's referred to in the rule book, in this case at least. Northbound displacement, no, they're here, displacement limitations. And it feels like you should be able to click on that and get it or something. I don't know. But it's definitely not well organized as a rulebook from my point of view. I don't find that a very easy or intuitive way to discover things, especially when there's already, you know, 4 different fonts and colors and everything here. Just seeing another one, it's just like, Yeah, that's something covered in there, because the same could be said about dinosaur. If dinosaur is mentioned, it will also be bold and linked back there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You know? Alright. It's just, it's hard to read. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm going to keep playing with what I got. You'll see a lot of the creatures are, well, almost all of them are in the wrong place now, because the creatures stayed even though the land moved, or the biomes moved. It's not the land itself, it's the habitats. Oh, we have some bridges that have to be flooded or something here. The Cantabrian Bridge floods. I think it's already flooded. That's this one? Yeah. Okay. So, biomes can't cross flooded bridges, so they ended up dying there. They end up dying when they come up against the ice caps. Since this ice cap melted accidentally, I'll let it stay that way, I guess. I'm not sure when the ice caps go away. They should. I don't know if that's specific. I mean, I would think this is exactly what would do it, but it doesn't seem to remove them. Anyway, well, maybe I'm misunderstanding something else in these rules. What's going to happen is everybody's just going to try to find where they can live still. Some biomes disappeared completely. You'll see there's some blanks in here. Those, because of the high greenhouse temperature, are now flooded spaces. You can't count them as land to travel through. They're not going to support anything no matter what, but they also can't count as land. Now I got to make sure nobody's over 4. They can be under. Alright, and I guess we'll just rock onward. Did these not disappear? Okay. So what a massive reshuffling it was, and we had a lot of die-offs. No species went under as far as I can tell. Oh. So let's look at what's where. The squizzlers have stayed in the water, basically. But the carnivorous version of them is done quite well. We see it not able to stay in the water, but jumping out of the water to grab these horses. Over here in the water, over here doing the same against the horses. They can't eat the... oh yeah, they could. Thought they couldn't eat dog faces, but I think they can. They just ended up there instead. Up here doing the same on the horses. Up here they're able to eat alligators. They're sharing them with turtles. There aren't a lot of turtles left on the board, and turtles are becoming very, very rare for good reason. They're just not working out there. We've got some up here. They really need to create a new genotype there. Okay, so that's the squizzlers. What do we got for the tuskers? Somehow they're surviving. Mainly size is the only thing that's keeping them alive. That's the only place they are, and that's really, really risky. They're, you know, heavily in danger. Their water horses, on the other hand, are doing okay. Over to the turtles, as we said, they're having trouble. They're having trouble because they don't eat much. The only thing they have for a roadrunner is speed. So, and I don't think there's anything with a single speed out there anymore. Oh, the 2 tuskers. Yeah, so they have an advantage on eating something that's almost dead. And they compete to eat these here crocodile things. But those crocodile things are easy for the fish to eat too, and Dogbert could probably eat them too. I don't think they have any defense whatsoever. So it's just a matter of who gets to them to eat them now. My wiener dogs are water dogs now, and they pretty much are stuck in the water with that double M. They may want to recess that at some point, but right now it seems to have helped them survive, actually. And we got birds. Birds aren't doing terribly well. The crocodiles are doing much better than the birds. The crocodiles have kind of, because of the extra BGs that they have, they've kind of spread out into a lot of little areas and are doing quite well. But the birds have the size limitation, which prevents them from winning here. And I mean, it is the same characters critters, so it's not that big a deal. All right, I guess we'll pull up another card. This is the last of the Mesozoic, and it's another catastrophe. Horrible. Worldwide trypanosomiasis plague. Player with fewest genes removes a genotype. Or, yeah, fewest genes. Wow. Okay. That's painful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 12. He's got 11, so he's in closest trouble. More. Eight. Well, there goes Dogbert. Dead. And now he is waiting on an immigrant. This is the hopeful monster scenario, because his main critter is gone. And, you know, he'll come in at some point. I'm not sure if he gets to keep any of these cards. I think these get discarded, but he may get to keep his hand. And I'm going to hand out genes, and then we'll see what happens. Who goes in? Who can go in to fill this? Looks like our good old Gators. So this was a victory point turn, as it were. There are only 2 in the game at the end of the Mesozoic, and then at the end of the Cenozoic. Counted up what we got, and all these little fishy squizzlers totaled 15 points. That's a tie with the birds and the alligators, or crocodiles, who also have 15, all in herbivores. Player 3, the racing turtle, he's at 12, still easily in shot. Player 2 is only at 7 points. His little horses didn't do well in recent time, and obviously Tutusker himself is just waiting to die. I actually recessed a gene, or a DNA card, because I don't want him. Oh, and that gets rid of these. Oh no. Is that bad? No, I don't need to recess it since it's over there. Since he has it, it's not important to recess it, because, in fact, I think you never want to recess one to save it. Because if he dies out, the card actually goes to him because he inherited it. So that's cool. Alright, so anyway, he's at a measly 7 points, and finally Dogface has nothing because he's extinct. He has to pay a buck, or a gene. He's got to do this every turn, waiting on a chance of an immigrant. There are other restrictions on an immigrant entry, which is that you can never express a genotype. I don't know how much I'm in favor of that. I kind of like letting someone play fully. I understand the reason why. It's because the immigrants have a lot of teeth, and so they're good at bidding, and they can probably win genotypes fairly easily. But I figure, especially if you missed an entire scoring segment, yeah, let's give them a little chance. And it really is a different species, so I don't know how horrible that is. All right, I'm going to wrap this one up and send it. And this was actually kind of an exciting one comparatively. So I'll probably label it special.